Did you ever feel like being in control of your emotions was like Mission Impossible? Well, we're going to be talking about that tonight. Hi, this is Karen Donovan, and welcome to another episode of the G.N.W show. I'm so glad you've joined us in either the live broadcast or the replay. And we want to put a smile on your face and a little fun to get you through the rest of your week. That's why we do it on Wednesday. So without further ado, let's get started and discuss a very important topic on strategies for a happy life. And we believe that you too deserve to be happy. And that's what this show is all about, is figuring out strategies on how to get there. Because as you know, we cannot control what goes on around us. We've been talking about the happiness trap the last couple of weeks. Our author, Russ Harris, look him up. It's really cool, and he gets into that, and we are getting into it as well. So there's the traffic, there's the weather, there's politics, there's your friends who do dumb things sometimes, there's drivers on the road who do really dumb things sometimes. I saw one of those today. And can you control that? Can you control those things that go on around you? Well, unfortunately, we can't do that. However, we can control not how we feel, but how we react. What are our actions to those things? So let's talk about an example. And this is an example that Russ Harris gives in his book, The Happiness Trap. Let's pretend that you were walking on a nice trail and all of a sudden you came upon a grizzly bear. What would be your instinct? Well, I can tell you mine. It would be scared to death and deciding to run, fight or flight, right? And I know I can't fight a grizzly bear. But, however, it is advised that you resist that instinct and instead you freeze. Because if you run, you will bring about the bear's pursuit instinct, and he will immediately follow you. So you don't want that. So people have survived by doing what? Taking an action that's counter to their emotion. Their emotion was to run, but instead they stayed still. They laid down. They put their hands over their head and they played dead. And they survived. So that is the key, folks. The key is taking an action that even though your instinct, your emotions tell you totally the opposite, that you do something to allow you to get past that situation. So, for example, let's talk about, here's a good one. Let's say that you say, I can't raise my arm. All right, everybody say this together. Everybody who's watching, we're going to do a little experiment. I want you to say with me, I can't raise my arm. I can't raise my arm. I can't raise my arm. Now raise your arm. See, you can still raise your arm. And that's an action that goes against what's in your head. So when you come down to it, there's, bad moods. People get into bad moods, and, that's kind of like an overcast day. It's going to pass. And if you're angry, it's, kind of like a big thunderstorm all of a sudden. But that too is going to pass. And instead, if we take an action that's kind of counter to our emotion, like on one of our shows a while back, we talked about the physical aspect of smiling, even when you're sad, right? And doing different things with your face. And it totally, if you try it, like it totally changes it. Like grab a pencil or a pen and put it in your mouth. First of all, you feel like an idiot, but second of all, you start to laugh. And all of a sudden, what happens? You've changed by an action that you've taken, the emotion that you have, or it just you get distracted until it passes. So I have a little homework for you this week. Now, I know you didn't think that you were going to get homework on the G.N.W show, but I was a former teacher, so I get to assign homework to the people who watch, and it's good homework. What I'd like to do is make a challenge to you. Why don't you pick out 2 or 3 things that have been bothering you? Like maybe somebody that's been very annoying, or maybe you just in general get upset. Like I know someone who gets very upset in traffic. So instead of saying what you would like to say to the person who cuts you off, how about trying this? How about smiling and saying, have a good day, and seeing what happens? All right. So think of a strategy on something that bothers you and tell me about it. Shoot me an email at Karen@homesbydonovan.com. I'd love to know what your strategy is for a happy life. All right. We're going to be talking about something, a burning question that many of you have had. Okay, so we've talked about controlling our actions and our reactions. How do we control dripping paint? You know, the real estate corner has to be related to something to do with real estate, because that is our fun topic that we like to talk about. I don't know why. So let's talk about dripping paint. I've got four really cool ideas. Some of them you may know about. Some of them you may not know about. But I don't know about you, but I've been doing a little painting around the house and around one of my rental properties, and I have found some neat tricks. First of all, you know, when you paint, the paint rim of the can fills up with paint. And this one you may know already, but when I did it a couple of times, people thought it was really cool. Just take a nail and put about maybe 4 or 5 holes around the rim of the paint inside the paint can. And when you put the brush on the rim, the paint will go back in the bucket and it won't fall over the side of the can. That's number one. Now, number two, how about painting doors? You know, when you paint doors, you don't want to take them off the hinges, and because you're worried about getting paint on the hinges, but on the other hand, it's a pain to take the door off the hinges. How about putting some petroleum jelly on the hinges, and then when you paint, the paint won't stick, and when you get done, you wipe off the petroleum jelly. Pretty cool, huh? All right, number 3, the rubber band trick. Aha! Now, this one is very cool. So here's the paint can, and you're going to take a rubber band and put it around from the top of the paint can down under the bottom. Now, what this is going to do is when you dip your brush in, you're going to wipe it off on the rubber band, and then your paint won't drip. Okay, that's pretty cool. I never thought of that one before. And last but not least, the styrofoam plate trick. Okay, you have the paint can. It does drip no matter what you do. And so stick a styrofoam plate on the bottom with a little glue or some duct tape, and that'll follow you around. And then when you're done, you can rip it off, and none of the paint will go on the floor. Okay, so I knew you wanted to know these things because I knew you were going to paint this week. And that's how we control paint drips. And now on to our trivia question, which everybody wants to know the answer to. And that is about control. I know you want to know something very interesting about control, and I learned something very interesting this week. The question was, how many of these people are in the group? So this is the group of the 8 wealthiest men, I guess in the world. And the question is which person named in this multiple choice answer was not one of the top 8? Was it Bill Gates? Was it Elon Musk? Was it Oprah Winfrey? Or was it Jeff Bezos? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about this topic before I give you the answer. I'm going to keep you in suspense. All right. I know that's not fair, but I think it's a good way to keep your attention. So in the Forbes billionaire report, there are estimated 8 billionaires whose combined wealth is $426. I had to figure out how to say this. It's so much money. $426 billion. 8 people, 8 men. Combined wealth, $426 billion. Now, here's the sad truth. In the world of the 50% of the bottom 50% of the entire world population, do you know how much their wealth is? Their wealth is 410 billion. So we've got the entire lower 50% of the entire world population at 410 billion combined between all of those people, and 8 men who have 426 billion. Now, of those 8 men, we named a couple of them. We named Bill Gates, we named Elon Musk, and we named Jeff Bezos. You will note that Oprah Winfrey, first of all, is a woman, and there were no women in this group. I don't know why. I'm sure there should be, but and though she has much wealth, she does not compare to the other 3 guys. So the answer was Oprah Winfrey, C. And several of you entered in the contest and sent me your response, and you were correct. As always, my faithful people that answer this question. Now, would you like to get in on this trivia contest for next week? I think you would. So if you would, just shoot me an email at Karen@homesbydonovan.com. You will get our Monday morning wake up newsletter, and in there is an entry form with the trivia question, and you can shoot it over to me. Again, Karen@homesbydonovan.com. In the meantime, don't forget to like us on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it. And hit that little red bell so the next time we have a G.N.W show, you will be notified if you aren't already. All right, so that wraps up our show for tonight on control. I hope you are able to come up with a couple of strategies this week to help you control one area that's been bothering you, and it's a great way to get the new year off to a good start. Until next time, please stay safe and make it a great week. Bye-bye.
It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to roll. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News Wednesday show. Good News Wednesday's finally here. Let's stand up